Dear viewers, we have another jam-packed episode of the Roundup and I am excited. Hey everybody, Thyworm here, covering indie games and ARPGs for the PC. And as always, timestamps are available in the video and sources in the description. Starting with reveals and announcements. Death's Door revealed itself, to me at least, which is really the criteria to be featured here at all. I don't want to make it too hard. And it is quite something. Look at the art style in this video. Is anyone surprised that this is another Devolver Digital published game? It seems unique art styles are the only way to get your foot in the door over there. This looks amazing. Death's Door is about a crow reaping souls, because in this world that is what crows do. It gets interesting, however, when your assigned soul to reap is stolen and you must track down a desperate thief to a realm untouched by death, where creatures grow past their expiry and overflow with greed and power. You can use melee weapons, ranged weapons and magic to reach your goal. It could be a roguelike, but I don't think that it is. It's not mentioned at all on Steam or on the web pages. It seems to me it's more focused on a single player experience with cool boss fights and a narrative that is bleak both visually and tonally. I can't wait for this. It'll launch on Steam July 20th. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt announced a next-gen update this year, also for PC. And on top of that, there will be some free DLC inspired by the Witcher series on Netflix. Kudos for CG Projekt Red. They can use a few after that Cyberpunk disaster. So, you remember all those successful live service games the last couple of years? Anthem, Magic Legends, Marvel, all of those other attempts leading to nothing but broken games and empty promises? Well, Ubisoft has seen the light now as well, and a live service version of Assassin's Creed is in the making by both studios that normally work on the regular games. It's called Assassin's Creed Infinity, which may refer to the time it's going to take, or more likely refer to the number of boring side quests and tasks and discoverable items and unlockable watchtowers in the game. I love the regular games, and I don't see how turning this into a live service is going to do the franchise any good in terms of creative vision at least. But something tells me this wasn't the initial goal here either. ANVIL is a top-down action roguelike shooter where you take the role of a vault breaker searching for alien artifacts while fighting monsters and powerful bosses. ANVIL, which stands for Ancient Vault Investigation Lab, is an agency searching for vaults and the powers within, which you can unlock and use. It's an action-packed game where everything is randomly generated, so no two runs are the same. You play as one of the many vault breakers, mechanical bodies or suits which you can rebuild once they are destroyed. This is the whole roguelike element here. There are plenty of vault breakers to choose from. I will do a rapid fire list here. We got Jungler with a standard rifle, Sandman with a shotgun, Lightning with a homing rifle, Liner lining up that missile launcher, Guillotine wielding a battle axe, Mountain pushing a meteorite hammer, Rush has power gauntlets, Elsa has her homing handguns, Uzi with, well, two Uzis, Shuri with a Gatling gun, and finally Flamethrower Toast. That's a diverse cast right there. Plenty of options, both melee and ranged. I'm looking forward to giving this one a go with some buddies in the Discord. Early access should launch on September 1st this year, until it got postponed just yesterday to Q4 2021. No exact date is known currently. I discovered Lies of P through a YouTube comment, a game about Pinocchio. You know, that cute doll who wanted to be a real boy, created in the 19th century by Carlo Collodi and made famous mostly by Disney. Well, forget all that, we're going full Dark Souls with this iteration. Lies of P is a scary Souls-like game in a depraved city, inspired by the Belle Epoque style of the late 19th century in Europe, which makes sense with the origin of the character. The trailer looks bloody fabulous, and if you go to France, places like this actually exist still. And I suppose in Italy as well, where Pinocchio was created. The aesthetic in this trailer is truly out of this world, though I dare say, damn, this looks good. There's not really any gameplay, and all we know is that the game is about you, Pinocchio, who needs to find Geppetto, your maker. You could guess from the title, or by knowing the story, that lying is a core mechanic in the game. You need to lie to people to progress the story. In the default Pinocchio, lying leads to a bigger nose, of course, but here I think it gives you a resource to upgrade your mechanical body perhaps, which can have various upgrades and parts and hopefully give you an edge in battle that way. Atmosphere is half the game in a Souls-like, in my opinion, so I am hopeful for this one. No release date known at all. Solstice got revealed at E3 actually, but I missed it, maybe because 350 other games were also revealed. Solstice is a coming-of-age fantasy story with fast-paced action, vicious enemies and breathtaking boss fights. Here's the story. The balance of the Holy Kingdom of Kaidas is compromised when powerful feral creatures known as wraiths invade from the other side of the veil, threatening to consume the living. Wraiths corrupt their victims and can even possess their bodies, turning into unstoppable monsters that prey upon the common folk. The Chimeras, hybrid warriors born from the union of two souls, are the only ones who can protect humankind. You are such a Chimera made up of the souls of two sisters. I mean, at least they're not stepsisters. Not entirely sure how the coming of age fits into a narrative like this, but the backstory does provide opportunities for synergistic fighting. Furthermore, expect customizations of weapons and abilities, exploration of the very atmospheric and grim environments, and judging by the trailer, a rather casual battle system, more like Bayonetta and less like Dark Souls. You ever wondered about the meaning of life? I have a degree in philosophy actually, but I don't want to ruin your day. It's not 42 either. But maybe Existensis has the answer, lovely people of Earth, because in this game you explore the world of Array for artistic inspiration, so that you may reach the meanings of life, plural, and complete your artistic opus. Many branching paths will take you to every corner of the globe as you explore this peaceful and colorful world. This is 3 to 4 hours of indiness, hand-drawn by one person, Aussie. I have zero clue what's going on here, but you can probably already tell if you enjoy this or not by the trailer, and if you do, July 19th is the date this game releases. Legendary Dutch director Paul Verhoeven is responsible for the iconic RoboCop movies back in 1987. Graphics from the original movie look better than whenever this trailer is, but hey, we're getting a RoboCop game, RoboCop Rogue City, in 2023. A game that is apparently based on the first 3 RoboCop movies. Here's what Steam says. Become the iconic part man, part machine. Oh god, this tagline is so bad, it's hard to finish this sentence. Become the iconic part man, part machine, all-cop hero as you attempt to bring justice to the dangerous crime-ridden streets of old Detroit. It's a first-person shooter according to Steam. Bright Memory Infinite released another trailer. Mark my words, this game is going to be completely nuts. I am very certain of this. The previous version was some sort of a tech demo, and this game is the real deal. Look at it. What is even going on here? Isn't this just absolutely glorious? Yeah, put this on your wishlist, guys. Some snippets of news about the game are revealed as well. For example, the sniper rifle has bullets with sticky explosives on them. That's nice. There's a boss battle on the wing of an airplane, which can happen because of a black hole. I mean, sure. And main protagonist Sheila underwent a metamorphosis, and I don't really have an opinion on this. The model looks more detailed, that's for sure. This is primarily a first-person shooter though, so, you know, you can play this later this year. Tribes of Midgard revealed a ton of new stuff. This cel-shaded up to 10-player co-op Norse mythology-inspired ARPG, which has been in development for quite a while now, has revealed their launch and post-launch plans. The game releases July 27th and comes with a saga, which is seasonal content. The first saga is the Wolf Saga, with exclusive loot, classes and a powerful boss. There will be runes as well, 30 of them, for additional customization, and for example, one of those runes shoots arc lightning from your weapon attacks. They're enchantments, sort of. On top of this, expect seasonal quests, which is an interesting take. These so-called saga quests lead you and your tribe on an adventure, and in this case you unlock a difficult dungeon with a powerful boss inside. The previous version of Tribes of Midgard I played, over a year ago by now, was mostly skirmish survival gameplay. This seems more story driven, and with a mythology as vast as this one to choose from, I'm sure they should be able to come up with interesting stuff to do. Tribes of Midgard wasn't something that I was too excited about when I played it, but that has surely changed over time. July 27th the game releases and I'm looking forward to it. Then the Patch Plaza with an overview of patch news. Wolcen teased their third content patch, called Wolcen Arise. I mean, say what you want about Wolcen, but this looks pretty epic. Now, the main concern, of course, as always with Wolcen, is how buggy is it going to be. We will see, but if this runs as well as these minions do, and it remotely resembles what you see on screen, and minions actually are endgame viable, which seems to be the case now, then we could be in for a lot of fun and a good surprise. Soon, ladies and gents, very soon. The Slormancer announced the contents of their July update. I did a dedicated video on it, check the card, but in a few weeks we can enjoy a new endgame system for that beautiful little indie game. Good stuff. Red Solstice patch 1.3 released, bringing quite a few changes, but I will just list a few. The devs added tutorial buttons in the main menu. The campaign is a bit more balanced with less lengthy missions. Other missions objectives have been reduced as well. The goal there seems to be overall to reduce the mission length somewhat, which I feel is a good idea because the pacing was a bit on the slow side. Followers now scale with levels, doing 3% more damage per level, lightning strikes less often, and honestly there is a whole heap of changes. The patch notes link is in the description below. The Solasta Sorcerer update launched July 13th. This is still the remainder of a Kickstarter stretch goal, and this patch brings, you guessed it, a Sorcerer. This new playable class comes with 3 archetypes: the Draconic Sorcerer, the Mana Painter, and the Child of the Rift. Very menacing titles, if you ask me. But there's more. Iron Man mode, for example. 3 new environments in the Dungeon Maker, and a lot of love, bug fixes. Path of Exile released a patch mainly to update the engine somewhat, and most notably the game now shows a lot more metrics to help you troubleshoot performance issues. Think about CPU, GPU, system memory, VRAM, drive, shader compilation, latency, and the instance server. I think all things considered, including how much is going on screen, PoE is pretty well optimized, but I'm sure not everybody agrees there. Time to release some games, starting with what released recently. First, however, an apology to Swords of Legends Online. I wrongly assumed last Roundup that this was a pay-to-win Chinese MMO. Instead, it is just a Chinese MMO, and the devs are apparently opposed to pay-to-win, as was mentioned by a viewer in the comments. And I saw Kira TV talking about it as well. So, my apologies. The game might be worth checking out. It's $40 and it sits at a 70% Steam user rating. Boomerang X released. Harness the power of a mystical boomerang to fling yourself through the air. Slice, fly and blast through arenas swarming with evil creatures. Stay agile or meet your doom. It currently sits at a 90% Steam user rating, but it is only from 50 people playing. It's apparently just a few hours long, but a worthwhile experience. Black Skylands released, and I got a review key, meaning I played the game as well for a few days prior to launch. No dedicated video for this one, but I can tell you it is a fun game, and it really opens up after a few hours of gameplay. It's a twin-stick shooter with some base building elements, crafting, upgrading your ship and weapons, and taking on a rogue army as well as a bunch of aliens. You can liberate other islands, a bit like Far Cry. Combat is very tactical, and there's much more to Black Skylands than meets the eye. Still in early access, I'll be following the progress for sure, so stay tuned. But I would recommend it at the moment if you like what you see. It's not expensive and there's already plenty of stuff to do. Warhammer 40k Inquisitor released the Season of the Void Brethren July 6th. I've played Martyr and Prophecy and I really enjoyed the campaign, but I never got into endgame at all, so I am not too sure how to evaluate this. I'll just give some highlights. But first, what is the overall theme of this update? This season brings a new chaos cult that needs to be vanquished, called the Void Brethren. There are a bunch of new features as well, such as co-op Void Crusades, meaning you can play endgame with a buddy now. Void Shard Exchange got implemented to more easily start certain Void Crusades, a currency tab is there, loot auto pickup filter, and a tech adept rebalance, pretty much making the class viable for endgame, which apparently wasn't the case before. Then upcoming releases: Dream Engine's Nomad Cities releases in early access the 14th of July. It is a survival city building game with flying cities. Build, automate and defend a flying city to survive in a wacky, nightmare-infested, post-apocalyptic world full of strange science and dreams. It comes with a robot you can control as well. Space Punks releases on July 14th as well, but on Epic exclusively. In my review, check the card, I said it was a free-to-play game, which is literally what is on the game's webpage. But it won't be free-to-play from that date at least. Only if you buy the Founders Package you can play. So it's buy-to-play for now. Later this year, the free-to-play kicks in. Not great. About the game, in short, combat is great. Servers suck. It's got plenty of issues, but also is plenty promising. Check out my video for more info. The Immortal Mayor is a construction and management sim game where you play as the local deity that watches over the land. Befriend other gods and use magic to help your residents build the town, thereby earning the offerings of your people and growing your town. If you're into this, could be fun. Early access July 15th. And it's time for some personal updates. What have I been up to? A little bit of Final Fantasy XIV, but I mostly played Spacepunks and Black Skylands. And this roundup is starting to take more and more from my time, as I'm sure you can imagine with so many topics. And I'm working on some other videos as well, most notably a video about the music in the last epoch and my issues with it. I've rewritten the script like 5 times now, but I'm finally kind of satisfied with it. I'll be crafting that video throughout the week if all goes well. I requested a few review keys for games down the line, so maybe another review soon as well, who knows. Especially the week after next one, there are a lot of games that I'm excited for. We're in for some good summer times while staying indoors and playing video games, which is not a bad idea anyway these days. And that's it, ladies and gents. If you have any questions or remarks, put them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did and you want more like this, consider liking the video or even subscribing. And if you really like the video and you want to support the channel, you can grab a YouTube membership for $2, which gets you absolutely nothing. But it does show your very much appreciated love and support. You can also check out my Nexus store, link in the card in the description, where I am selling a few of my favorite games. And if you buy those, I get a small cut. Thanks for watching and for making it to the end. Love you all. See you soon. Bye bye.